start by sharing my screen. So let me find the right screen. Where is the right screen? Oh, there it is, right. So I hope you can all see this screen. And we're going to look at a variety of hands involving some tricky decisions for the defense, or you may not find them so tricky. And also there's a couple of problems for declarer as well. So let's start with what I hope is a simple one, where you're defending against 3 no trump. South has opened 1 no trump, 12 to 14 points. North raises to 3 no trump, and your partner leads the 5 of hearts. And down comes dummy, and obviously you're going to try and think, what are you going to play here? Declarer plays the 3 from dummy, and I've got a 2-part question for you coming up in a poll. Which heart are you going to play here? The king, the jack, or the 8? And if the card you play wins a trick, what are you going to play back at trick 2? Are you going to play back one of the hearts that's remaining, or are you going to switch to another suit? So have a little think. The first part of the question is what you're going to play at trick 1. And if that wins a trick, what are you going to play at trick 2? So here comes the first poll. And let's see. So for the first part, 67% said the king and 33% said the jack. And for the second part, it's sort of the other way around. 47% said the jack, and other responses were for 8 of hearts, the jack of hearts, or another suit. Well, the majority is correct in both cases. You've got the king and the jack here, and when your partner leads a suit against no trump, they presumably have 1 or more honors in that suit, and you should play high. Third hand should play high here. We'll look at a variant of that in a moment, but on a hand like this where there's no honors in dummy, the correct card to play is the king here. And if the king wins the trick, then the second thing you have to get right is to play back the jack, high from 2 remaining. If I show you the 4 hands at this stage, you'll see why that is important. If I were to make the mistake here of winning the king and playing back, say, the 8 of hearts, then if declarer plays the queen on that, my partner can win with the ace, but I'll be left winning trick 3 with the jack. So it's part of basic defense, third hand play, to play third hand high and play back the higher of what I've got here, 2 remaining cards in this suit. If I click on the GIB button, you can see that it's saying that I can't defeat this contract, but I can hold declarer to 9 tricks if I now lead the jack. If I lead a low heart, they can make 10 tricks. And if I lead something else, they can make an extra trick. They'll make 2 over tricks. So yes, you play third hand high here and then lead back the jack. So well done to the majority of you who got that right. When this hand was played, a lot of declarers made some over tricks here, but with correct defense, you will hold declarer to 9 tricks. You will now lead back the jack. Whatever they play here, if they play the queen, your partner can win it and then cash the 10 and the 6. And you'll make the first 4 tricks there. Declarer, you can see, is going to make the rest, but they won't make any over tricks if you defend correctly. Let me look at a slight variant of this. This time I've got the ace, jack, 8. And again, my partner leads this suit. Declarer plays low from dummy. And I've got the same question to ask you. What are you going to play this time, the ace, the jack, or the 8? And if the card you play wins a trick, what are you going to play back at trick 2? So have a little think about it. And here comes the second poll. Okay, let's have a look at your results. And most of you have gone for the jack for the first part, and 56% went for the ace, with some other choices there. But if we switch back to the screen, yes, the correct answer is you should play the jack at trick 1. Why is that? Well, first of all, when your partner leads this suit, they've led a low card. 5 looks like a low card, and they presumably have an honor in that suit. And they presumably may well have the king. So you can win this trick if they do with the jack. And if it does win the trick, you then need to play back the higher from 2 remaining cards. So the majority is right here. Let's bring up the 4 hands and have a look. First of all, if you play your ace here, now declarer is going to make a trick with the queen. You're giving away a trick. But you can see the right card to play, which holds declarer to exactly 9 tricks, is to play the jack here. If that wins the trick, then again, if I click on the GIB button to not allow any over tricks, you must now play the ace. Otherwise, your partner can win the queen. If you play a low one, you'll win trick 3 with your ace, and that'll be it. But your partner here has got started with 4 hearts. So it's right for you to think about making sure you don't block the suit. So play high from 2 remaining. So a majority of you got those questions right, but quite a few of you didn't. So if you have any questions, do look at this video again, or you can unmute yourselves and ask me about it now. Let's have a look at another one. And this time I'm going to look at a similar hand, but from the point of view of declarer. And again, this was a hand that was played, and a lot of declarers did not do the best they could on this hand. South here has got a fairly balanced hand, opens 2 no trump, and that's passed out. And West leads the 7 of hearts here. And you can see North is probably right to pass there because they've only got 3 points. But what you're going to have to do on this hand is find some discards. So actually, East-West are going to take the first 5 heart tricks. And there's nothing you can do about that. But what you are going to do is have to discard. You're going to have to discard from the North hand, and you're going to have to discard South from the South hand. And there's a poll coming up, which is, as they play these hearts, which cards are you going to discard? So let's suppose they play the first round, they take their ace, they take the second round, and suppose they play a third round here. And first of all, you've got to discard from the North hand. That's not so critical here. Let's suppose you decide to discard a diamond, but then they're going to carry on playing 2 more rounds of hearts. And the question is, what are you going to discard from the South hand? Are you going to discard 2 clubs? Are you going to discard a club and a diamond, or a club and a spade? Or are you going to discard a diamond and a spade? So now is the time to plan your 2 discards. And here is a poll, and the question is, what 2 discards are you going to make from the South hand? And most people have gone for a spade and a diamond, 84%, with a small percentage discarding a club. And yes, those of you who have decided to keep your 5 clubs are, of course, absolutely correct. If you think about the club situation, you've got 9 clubs, including the ace, king, queen. So only a very bad distribution of the missing 4 clubs. There are 4 missing clubs. If they were to divide 4-0, would that be any problem for you? If they're divided 3-1 or 2-2, you will be able to make 5 club tricks, but you must, of course, not discard any from the South hand. So if we expect to make 5 clubs, and we've also got 2 spades and 1 diamond, so if we count our likely top tricks, it comes to 8. But of course, you must keep your clubs. And that's a much better bet than keeping your spade, which would require finesse to be successful, or a diamond, which would require that finesse to work. So yes, as they play their hearts, don't despair. Doesn't matter too much what you discard from the north hand, but from the south hand, you should discard your spade and your diamond, and don't keep, and if you don't keep your 5 clubs, you probably won't make the contract. When this hand was played, a lot of declarers in 2-no trump did not make it, and I suspect they discarded their clubs. But once they, if they then play a diamond, you're just going to switch back to clubs, and barring a horrible distribution, you're likely to make all those club tricks. So you'll make your contract. Although, as I said, many declarers did not manage to do that when this hand was played. Anyone have any comments on that one? And let's try this one. This is quite a challenging one. And South here has opened 1-no trump, which shows a balanced hand with 12 to 14 points. And if we look at the West hand here, I'll just rewind it, you've got 17 points. And this is the kind of hand where you should be thinking about doubling. A double of 1-no trump is for penalty, and it generally should be at least 16 points, or it could be slightly less with a good suit. Here you don't really have a good suit, but you do have more points than South, and the double would be the recommended bid. Anyway, you are here in 1-no trump, doubled, and you lead. The normal lead here is a low spade, okay? And this is a hand where it really requires very accurate defense by both West and East to defeat this contract, and to defeat it actually by 2 tricks. So let's see if we can put it all into practice. So make your normal lead of your 4th highest against no trump. Down comes dummy, and it's well worth thinking about the missing points here. South has got on average 13 points, 12 to 14. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the north hand. So on average, they've got 19 points between them. And that means that you've got, between you and your partner, about 21 points. So your partner has, you've got 17, has got about 4 points. They've probably got 3 to 5 points. So not a lot, but something over there. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can find the right killing defense on this one. 1-no trump contracts are often very nerve-wracking, but let's see how this one goes. So declarer plays low from dummy. Your partner plays the 10, and that wins the trick. And now your partner plays the queen of spades. Declarer plays low from their hand. And I've got the first pole on this hand, which is, what are you going to play from the West hand? Are you going to play the ace, the king, or the 6? And most of you have gone for the ace or the king. Between those two, it's 65%, and 35% have gone for the 6. And I'm afraid on this one, most of you are wrong. You need to really think about this carefully before you decide what to play here. You started off with 4 spades, and there were 3 in dummy. So there are 6 spades between the South and the East hands. And those are most likely to be divided either 3-3 or 4-2, one way or the other. And you need to think about the possibilities. I mean, one possibility is that they are divided 3-3, and that your partner has got another spade left. And of course, they'll win the queen if you play low, and they can then play another spade. But there is another possibility here, which is that your partner started with a doubleton, queen and 10. And that would leave declarer starting with 4 spades in their hand. And if you overtake the queen with the ace, you are wasting a trick there. And to cater to that possibility, the correct play, yes, the minority of you are right here. The right play here is to play the 6 here, not to play the ace or the king. You can see that, according to the computer, you're on track to defeat this contract by 2 tricks, but not if you overtake with the ace or king. So these doubled 1-no trump contracts often turn on exactly the right defense. And if you think about the possibilities, you should realize you should not overtake here. So play the 6, and of course your partner wins the trick. Now I'm going to switch to East, because East, if I switch to East's hand, this is what East has got left. Yes, they did start with a doubleton. And I've got the next pole on this hand, which is, what do you think East should play now? You can't play spades anymore because they've gone. And I'd like you to think about which card, and first think about the suit, and also which card do you think you should play at trick 3? Going to launch that poll in a moment. Which card do you think he should play, having won the Queen of Spades? And most of you have gone for a diamond, and 80% altogether of diamonds, and most of you went for the Jack of Diamonds. And so there's some choices for hearts as well in there. Well, let's have a look. So we're in this situation of we're leading, and it's nearly always a good idea in these situations to lead into dummy's weakness. And it's also a good idea to lead a card higher than the highest card in dummy. What you're hoping is that there are some honors in the south hand and some in the west hand, and that by you leading diamonds, you will trap those honors. So yes, the right card to lead is a diamond. And again, you can see that if you lead the Jack of Diamonds, you're still on track to defeat this by 2 tricks. So the right card to play is the Jack of Diamonds. And let's see what happens. It wins the trick. So that's good. It seems like there are some honors that are trapped, perhaps, and South has probably got an honor, and your partner didn't need to play a higher card in order to beat. They could just let the Jack win. If we switch back to your partner's hand now, let's have a look at this. Yes, we can see we're in good shape here because the opponent's my partner's led the Jack, and I was able to let him win the trick. He now carries on with another diamond. So, of course, I can win that one with the Queen. I win that one. And now perhaps the moment I was waiting for all along is to cash my 2 spades. So let's suppose I cash my 2 spades now. And I take those 2 tricks. And now I'm going to defeat the contract with the Ace of Diamonds. So that's 7 tricks for us. And I've got the final question now. What do you think West should play now? You've just got hearts and clubs left. And what do you think West should play now? And 37% went for a heart, and the rest of you chose one of the clubs, either a low club or the king or the Jack of clubs. And let's switch back and see if we can think about this. Well, if you've been following the play, you will have seen that your partner has shown a few points already. They have the Queen of Spades and they have the Jack of Diamonds. And if you think back to the beginning, you're not expecting them to have more than about 4 points on average. So they don't have any high cards left, like an ace or a king. Okay, so if you think about it, you're hoping to make, I think, one more trick on this hand, and I'm hoping to make a trick with the king of clubs. But it's almost certain that Declara's got the ace, and if I lead a club, I may well not make a trick in clubs. So now, having defeated the contract, having made 7 tricks, now's the time to be passive here. Don't lead away from your club honors. Just lead a heart. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to make a trick with the club at the end. It's very unlikely that you will make a trick with the club if you lead that suit now. So it's a strange one, but you now need to just sit back and see if you can make that club. It may not happen because Declara may be able to make enough tricks in hearts that you can't make anything or another suit. But otherwise, your best bet here is to now play passively And you're hoping for some kind of layout like this. And I hope you can see that if you lead any club, declarer can make the rest of the tricks, because he's going to make 4 hearts and 2 clubs. But if you lead a heart, although he can make 4 hearts, okay, the hearts divide kindly for him, he can make 4 hearts, but at the end you can make a trick with your king of clubs. So when this hand was played, no one managed to defeat one no trump by 2 tricks, which is what you can do. And it requires really very good play by both you and your partner to find the right defense. But I think you can work it out. Well done to those of you who chose the right thing at each stage there. Anyone have any comments or questions on this one?